All right, this is the Final Word Cricket Podcast, but it's also, for the first time, never done one of these before, Zero Ducks Given in collaboration with the Final Word. Adam Collins, Toby Tarrant.
Hello.
Daniel Norcross.
Hello, it's me. I'm back again.
We're here primarily to announce something, but then to, in all probability, talk some utter bollocks for about half an hour until the time that Daniel and I are due back on the Surrey commentary to talk some more utter bollocks, I would have thought.
Yeah, you second up.
You and me, kid.
Oh, excellent.
You're my colour man.
I'm sunrise.
Yeah.
I should have checked the rotor, really, shouldn't I?
Yeah, well, for the first time.
Yeah, I just go with the flow, you know.
What have I got to do to get a gig on the Surrey live stream? Because they seem to hand out gigs on this live stream willy-nilly.
He's got a very good point, right? Because we have some absolutely rubbish guests on the Surrey live stream. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Our producer, sir, to say, oh, yes, I found this guy. He's teaching dogs to sing in Latin. We gotta get him on. He's a big fan of cricket,
And I can't get a look in.
I know.
No, okay. Well, speak to the producer. I'd love to do the Surrey live stream occasionally.
Well, we'll take you in. We'll introduce you.
I actually think this is vaguely a good idea. We should come out of here from this recording, go next door and say, hey, Certs, big fast bowler here, 6'5" of him.
Yeah.
Dad was famous on TV.
Yeah.
Your dad might even tweet about it or something.
I don't think Dad's quite au fait with Twitter yet.
But actually, it's my birthday and I'm a bit knackered. So
It's your birthday today?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday,
Thank
mate.
you very much. Yeah. Well, nice of you to remember.
I've just been speaking to you for half an hour.
Well, I didn't like to shove it down your throat, but I've been bought a couple of bottles of wine by the team today. And so if you wanted to do my 40-minute stint at 2:20 instead, then I could just get deep in the cups.
Perfect. It is awkward when it's your birthday and then you see somebody. How do you bring up the fact that it's your birthday without saying, hi, it's my birthday, which makes you sound like a bit of a wanker?
Yeah, I mean, what I try to do is I say, well, it's Peter Capaldi's birthday today, and Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Philip II of Spain, and wonder if they know how I might know.
Yeah.
You can go the other way and go out of your way not to tell anyone, and then you can, when they happen upon it on social media, you can be ever so sullen. But you're not. That's not your personality.
That's not. It doesn't really work for me.
And now this is becoming very, very zero ducks in our presentation, I've got to say, which is fine. There's two of you and one of me. We have to tell the people, Toby, what we're actually doing here. August the 18th. We've alluded to this. You have on your show. We have on our show. August the 18th. We've secured Wormsley at what I can best describe as mates rates. Why? Due to our relationship with the mighty Lord's Taverners. What are we going to do with it? We're going to raise a shitload of money for the Lord's Taverners. Yeah. How are we going to do it? Playing a cricket match against each other. The Final Word 11, which is, a bit of a thing. We've played maybe about 10 games now across 3 or 4 years. Some here, some in Australia. We've won all bar 2, I think. I think we've lost a couple, but we've got a bit of a team, right? You guys haven't done this before, but you'll recruit well, I'm sure.
Hang on, first of all, this is the first time you've mentioned it. Now that the game's been secured, it turns out you're already a touring side and you've played home and away in all conditions. I'm also slightly concerned because I don't think if you add together the three hosts of Zero Ducks Given and our producer Sal and our listeners, I don't think that adds up to 11. So we're going to have to get some ringers in at some point.
Well, colleagues, so I was doing an IPL game the other day for money, obviously. There's no other reason. And Lydia Greenway was working with me, so I've floated it with her. She's interested. I think a bit of Ebbs as well. Might see if we can get Lids and Ebbs.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be doing a lot of that, so I'll explain the framework of this. So a game that's going to start at 12:30. So when Toby's finished on radio that morning, he'll go straight. So Wormsley's in, for those who aren't familiar, not far beyond where High Wycombe train station is, about 10-minute cab away from there. It must be the most beautiful touring ground in England. It's where JP Getty was convinced to build a cricket ground in his backyard by Mick Jagger, I think I'm right in saying, is the origin story of that ground, and built it with the same dimensions as what we have out here at the Oval in South London. So it's a gorgeous setting with the thatched roof and the grass banks and the rolling hills and so on, and you can be there in one of two ways. Taverners fundraiser, 75th anniversary of that great charity, which we're all in one way or another involved with as patrons and so on. 90 quid to be in the marquee, or 20 quid to rock up and watch the game and have a beer and enjoy the entertainment, which will include Stephen Finn doing a Q&A with you guys and whoever we recruit to the team doing a Q&A as well. So there's the chance not just to be there, but to be very involved in the day. Toby, you've done many, many days in the Wormsley marquee. What's the selling points?
Genuinely, it is the most beautiful cricket ground in the country. It's when you speak to guys that have played Test cricket, 100 Test matches and played all around the world, they'll tell you that they've not played on tracks as beautiful and as good as the one at Wormsley.
That's because they've never played against Croydon Gas.
Well, that's exactly it. Yeah, Finney, you can shove your Ashes medals where the sun don't shine, because until you've bowled against a hungover banker at Wormsley who playing for Croydon Gas, you haven't lived. It is a very special place. It is a cricket nerd's idea of heaven, and we're all cricket nerds here. We're not ashamed to admit that. And so if you've never ticked it off the bucket list, then it's an absolute must-do before you leave this mortal coil, which for some of us is sooner than others.
Yes, okay. I'll deeply seen. No, it's genuinely absolutely beautiful. And that time of year, well, I mean, it's a grouse shooting season have already started. So if you want to bring down your firearms, you can slaughter a whole bunch of wildfowl, I dare say. They've got red kites. They've got rutting stags. I did a game there when I think it was a women's test match against India. Smriti Mandana's debut. Yeah. And I was commentating from inside the marquee there. Ball was hit into the marquee. It knocked over Mel Farrell. It's the first time I ever met Mel Farrell, incidentally. But there were stags rutting, literally rutting, away to our left. It was.
To be clear, if you're an Australian listening here, that's not stags rooting. It's something else.
Yeah. No, it is.
Oh, it is stags rooting.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So rutting and rooting mean the same thing.
They pretty much. They were getting down and dirty on the banks away to our left. It's just sumptuously designed, so beautifully put together, and it just reminds you how everything's changed for the worst, hasn't it? I mean, in those days, a billionaire replicates the greatest test ground in England in their back garden. Nowadays, billionaires cut huge amounts of funding for USAID, destroy the lives of people with AIDS, and throw people out of their jobs. So you had a better class of billionaire back in the day.
You did.
Yeah, and as I say, we've got it for mate rates. We're chuffed that this has played out this way. So we're really grateful to the Wormsley estate for essentially gifting us the ground in order to make as much money as we can on the day for the Taverners. So there'll be a link in the show notes to buy a ticket. This will be all over social media. We are recruiting. I have been, well, should I say it? Fuck it, I will. I've asked if Sam Robson will open the batting for us.
Oh, great.
He's available. He's available that day.
So Finney's bowling now, I'm afraid. He said he was never going to bowl again. But if Sam bloody Robson's
they're
playing,
great mates. They're great mates. So there's a through line here between two old Middlesex teammates who have both, of course, been on The Final Word, and in your case, your co-host in Finney. So there'll be a bit of a Middlesex thing. I reckon we should set some parameters. How many pros? How many of us? How many listeners? Like, how are you seeing this, Tobe?
And how many? Briefly, if you got Sam Robson, how many people who briefly opened for England with Alistair Cook?
Are you allowed?
Strauss?
Yeah.
So now we've got Hales, Compton, Adam Lythe.
Josh Michael Butler,
Carberry.
Yeah.
Jennings.
Keith Jennings. Yeah, we get a few of them down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, the thing you'll know is we'll ask 50 ex-pros to get 4 of them. Yeah. So we need to cast our net far and wide. Now, I have already gone on an attempted recruitment drive and asked a certain Graham Swan if he will play, because he's guest hosted when Finney's been away on Zero Ducks Given.
That's right, yes.
So we sort of own him ahead of you, I'd say. So I have asked Swanee, and in true Graham Swan fashion, he said he'll get back to me about that date, but it sounds fun. So
Ian Morgan, if he's not doing the 100.
Apparently Owen Morgan, these are the words of Stephen Finn, absolutely not a chance in hell that he will play a game of cricket, but he may sit on the boundary and drink a beer.
Okay.
Which, so that's what we're aiming for. So now there is also a other podcast, No Balls, which is at the moment no longer with us. And there is 2 players there, potentially.
Great shout.
Yeah.
Kate Cross will probably be involved in the 100.
Yeah, she will be playing.
Alex Hartley will probably be involved in commentating the 100. But
to be clear,
but it's at Cardiff that day, so nobody wants to go to Cardiff.
Nobody wants to go to Cardiff. Even when the 100 isn't on, nobody wants to go to Cardiff.
The BBC's producers are just going to get this I can make any day in August apart from
Monday the
18th of August. Yeah.
But we're going to try and get some ex-players along, and we should look at our little black book of names of celebs as well and see if we can rope any in. I think that's probably worth doing as well. But we guarantee that when you buy a ticket, you're going to see some ex-players, some proper cricketers, some idiots, and Adam Collins, who genuinely takes charity cricket matches more seriously than any man I've ever seen take charity cricket matches seriously.
Well, he's on a quest. He's on a quest, isn't he? You're on a quest for...
I am, of sorts.
A lot of wickets.
I suppose this will count.
Stats.
Yeah, well, so do you. But you get to play on a Saturday, and I don't, because I'm usually working at the cricket on a Saturday, which precludes me from getting that, scratching that itch. So when I play Tabs cricket with you, it means a bit more. And we both, you take it seriously too when the games are close. So, and it'll be Toby running in. He's still playing first team cricket. Have you? How's your pre-season shaping up?
I love how I always start to think that whenever I get asked questions like "How's your pre-season shaping up?" I go into genuine sportsman's mode, like, no, the guys are working really hard and we're really excited for the season ahead. We've done a couple of pre-season nets, and every single year it starts to get a bit creakier and a bit sorer and a bit slower and a bit more painful, but I'm clinging on by my fingernails. Daniel, I don't know why I'm looking at you when I said all those adjectives, but you played club cricket for many years. How long have I'm 33 years old. I've bowled relatively quickly for club cricket for a while now. How much longer have I got left? Be honest with me.
Well, if you don't succumb to golf...
I thought you were going to say gout.
No, there's just a word that goes. There's a word that goes before golf, but I'm trying to keep things clean. If you don't succumb to golf, then there's no reason why you shouldn't repurpose yourself as a dobber from the age of about, I want to say 39, 40. It's often the revelation hits at 40, but it's not a bad idea to get a year in ahead of that. 39, repurpose as a dobber, and you can keep going for another 20 after that. No trouble at all.
Do you know, I have started doing dobbers at the end of every net session to prepare for my retirement. Yeah. But also, it's going to be a hard sell to my very lovely and understanding wife, Pippa, when I've basically always told her since the day we met, and I've spent my whole summer playing cricket, that don't worry, I haven't got long left of play. If I go, babe, I've repurposed as a dobber. I've got another 30 years.
As long as you don't reinvent yourself as an off spinner.
Yeah, because
get off my fucking lawn.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Gollo. Sorry,
like to run in hard.
I'm not really the build for off spin. I'm 6'5". I'd be the Suleiman Ben of right arm off spin. Yeah. But anyway, hopefully I'll still be steaming in on our day. This is quite a big moment. These two cricket podcast pantheons joining forces. This is a little bit like when Busted and McFly formed McBusted. It feels a little bit like that. Do you know what I mean? Except instead of attracting thousands of screaming, adoring women, it's just about 7 blokes called Jack that will be interested in this.
It's the Travelling Wilburys.
It's the Travelling Wilburys.
If you throw Kate Cross and Alex Hartley in the mix as well, we've got 3 of the 4 podcasts covered.
Invite Felix.
We have. I don't think he's available. He's got his gig at All Points East at the end of that week, so we have inquired as to whether he might be about, but I don't think he is.
I've just properly looked at the video that we're recording, and it looks a little bit like a hostage video, and that one of us should be holding up today's newspaper.
As long as we're not tied to the radiator like those 2 chaps were in.
McCarthy and Waite. Yeah. Yeah, well, let's not go down that path.
I was trying to lead you down that path. It's part of Daniel's after-dinner routine, talking about what happened with those 2 in the radio.
Yeah, well, let's just say it's a long time, isn't it, to chain to a radiator without the creature comforts of home.
Have we lost sight of the charity at this stage?
Well, I want to say that 75 years of the Tabs. We're obviously at the moment in preparation for the Edinburgh Marathon, half marathon on the 25th and 6th, I think it is, of May. That's not far away. We're trying to raise 30 grand for the Tabs there. I would love us to collectively raise 50, maybe 30 with the marathon, 20 on our day. It'll take some doing, but that marquee holds 270 people.
Great.
We've got to service our debts from the day first, which aren't that much, because I said before, they're really looking after us.
Yeah, thank you, Wormsley.
So 20 quid entry. Let's get as many people there as we can. It's going to be a terrific day out. Book your annual leave. And if you want to go on the marquee, again, from experience, we've been lucky to all dine in there. They will absolutely look after you. There'll be entertainment beyond us, I assure you. There'll be other people who the Tabs recruit to do their thing and Q&As and that type of gear. So, yes, book your day off now. buy your ticket in the link, bring a table, bring your mates, whatever configuration that you wish, and we will invite, I reckon, from a final word perspective, probably 4 or 5 of our listeners to play. They will be rewarded for having played in the past, because we've got quite a few guys that have, played most of the games, so they'll get the first look in. And as for you guys, I have no
Maxwell.
I did ask whether he was going to be about, but he's not playing in the 100. That was for 2 minutes. That was a thought, whether we can get Glenn to walk out at 4. Not to be, maybe next year.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. This might, if we do it well, whisper it, this could be an annual thing.
Oh, it would be so great.
So we just need this to work and work well and raise heaps of money, and the Tavs are all in for it. So I guess that's it in terms of what we want to say on that front. There are other things. I mean, while we're all together and while we are collaborating,
yes.
How are we seeing it? I mean, who is the revelation of the first fortnight of the county championship, Toby? Who's going to be getting you titillated in season 25?
Well, we've just been talking off air about McKinney at Durham, who we've got a theory that nobody has ever actually seen bat, but has already decided he's the future of English cricket,
including the Durham coach.
Yeah, exactly, including his opening partner. I'm starting to think he's a myth, and that if a tree falls in the forest that doesn't make a sound, if McKinney scores an unbeaten 150, does anyone actually see it? I don't know. But McKinney, from what I have seen, a guy that's got a strike rate of over 80 in first-class cricket, seems very basball. Zach Crawley hasn't covered himself in glory, although he did get a half-century the other day. I feel a bit sorry for Zach Crawley, because it almost feels like people are wanting him to fail at this stage, and I don't want him to fail. I'd like him to do well, because he showed against Australia that he was quite good. But the other interesting one is Ollie Pope keeps having another fish outside off stump for Surrey as well. So whether his place is up for grabs, but McKinney seems a sexy one. And because you guys are commentating on the Surrey game here, I asked you what you thought of Sonny Baker, the young bowler for Hampshire, and you both went, "Oh, Sonny Baker, yes."
I tell you, that yesterday he came round the wicket at a time when Surrey were well on top, and they had fielders out everywhere, 9 fielders out in the boundary. Horrible time to bowl. It's only his 3rd first-class game, only his 2nd championship match after debuting last week, and I mean, he looked like he'd been doing this for years. And these are scenarios that he would never have faced before. The daftness of county cricket, the light had come in, and so there was the hours had been lost from the game. So Surrey was simply going to be setting up a deck, and he was pinging in these Yorkers from round the wicket at decent pace. He's got a slightly idiosyncratic load up. His right hand comes round rather coquettishly over his right shoulder. He's like, ooh. And he's, I wonder what's going to come out of Sonny Baker's hand.
And you've got that Nathan Ellis 2-stage run up as well. He takes 3 paces, then stops, bunny hops up and starts again.
Rutting stag stuff.
And rooting donkey stuff. And he runs in. It's Michael Holding-Link's run up too. So
it's long, yeah.
So it's an aesthetic thing. It's an aesthetic thing, and he has a fucking crack. You can just tell by his body language. He's having a go. I drew a picture on my notebook and gave it to Phil Walker on day 1 of a plane with Qantas flight Heathrow to Perth. Positing that he might find himself on the Ashes trip. I just got a feeling that he will be fast-tracked, because he does all the things that you want from a fast bowler. Has a crack, has tricks, can do that round the wicket short stuff. Did not have his pace drop at all when he needed to do that. That's a big part of modern Test bowling.
He took a catch that changed the course of the game on the first day. It was an absolutely cracking shot from Jamie Smith, who again looks in terrific nick. You may be looking at his numbers and think there's nothing particularly going on here. I've watched all 4 of his innings now, and every time he's been in and he's been cracking it, and it's been whistling off that bat. Sonny Baker took a wonder catch down a deep backward point to get him high above his head, knew exactly where the rope was, threw it up in the air, came back. Don't normally see that red ball game before lunch on the first day. Couple of other names to throw at you though. Dom Sibley. Wouldn't this be the most unlikely and the greatest comeback in England colours? Twin hundreds here, batted really well, got into gears, played a slog sweep for 6.
I reckon if you asked 100 cricket fans in England how old Dom Sibley is, over 90 of them would overestimate his age. He's 29. Like, you're allowed to be at the best as a cricketer. I hate to be serious for a moment, but you are permitted to get better. You are permitted to evolve, and your best cricket, typically as a batter, is with a low 3 in front of it, more often than not.
Mike Hussey.
He's a much better player than when he played.
Adam Voges.
Chris Rogers.
Yeah.
All of these guys.
Graham Gooch. This is what happens when you get old. You just shout names into a microphone.
The male pastime of just yelling out sports stars from yesteryear. But I reckon with Sibley, there is enough there to suggest that he's still got that temperament and that shot selection thing that he enjoyed as an opener for England. But he's more resourceful. He scores in different areas. So I reckon he'd also be such a popular selection for England this summer amongst, dyed-in-the-wool England cricket fans. I think there's a little bit of we can't be asked with the next bolter who's played 3 games of first-class cricket and can whack at 320 down the guts of the fairway. They are looking for someone a bit more Dom Sibley-esque in his disposition. It'd please them ever so much.
Other people to look out for, though, while we're on this subject, because really the England team, it's not a closed shop, but there's a lot of places that are kind of nailed. Possibly Crawley isn't, but I think they're so keen on him playing in Australia, the pitches are going to suit him, that he probably will play. And so you've really got Ollie Pope's position under the microscope. The rest of the batting lineup, top 7's absolutely nailed on. So what you're looking at is bowlers. We've mentioned Sonny Baker. I think the spin bowling department's an issue because although they've invested heavily in Shoaib Bashir, Somerset are happy for him to go off to Glamorgan. He's not really pulling up trees there. More eyes are going to alight on Jack Carson. And I hate to say it, Stephen Finn on our podcast, last time we did one, it was a preamble to the County Championship, wasn't it? He tipped Sussex and I think the entire Sussex team is one that we should be keeping our eye on. John Simpson having an Indian summer with
Big Lord's Taverner, by the way. Simo as well. Big Lord's Taverner.
We might, he'll probably be in the 100, but we might be able to, who knows?
Don't know what I mean. Don't forget, he did, of course, famously hit the most expensive 5 balls in the 100 off a certain Stephen Finn.
29 off 5.
This is nice. Finney's not here to defend himself.
I was commentating that. The wheels well and truly fell off. And he also, another thing that John Simpson's done to somebody on our podcast is he tied me up to a chair and put gaffer tape round my mouth on a Lord's Taverners trip to Hong Kong because he'd taken slight exception to my pitch-side commentary during the charity game earlier that
day. Were you nude at the time?
No, but I had a horrible feeling that I might become it.
I think everyone in the room probably had a horrible feeling you might become it. That's worth mentioning, by the way, to bring it back to the game at Wormsley, that we're going to be rotating the commentary box on the day as well. So I think we were discussing that we've got one of the finest lineups of commentators in charity cricket game history, in theory, and Toby Tarrant available for commentary duties.
And I've spoken to Gower about it. He's going to umpire, so I'm sure we can get Gower to do some commentary in addition to umpiring.
Yes, and I'm sure we can rope in a certain Michael Gatting as well.
Umpiring too. I think I think
Gatting and Gower umpiring. We should really open with that.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry, David. Mind you, David he probably had more than 3 glasses of wine when I asked him this, but I'm sure that this will be fine.
It will be absolutely fine.
He's serving his 5th year as TAB's president, and Gatting is the former president and still a massive contributor. He's umpired many of our games. So I reckon we're going to get both of those out. All the more reason to be there. I'm sure they'll both do Q&As. They're both terrific company in these types of days as well. So there's more of incentive there. You know what? We've been going 23 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's probably enough.
It's plenty.
We told the story we need to tell. Any parting thoughts, Tobes? It's great to sit with you on mic again, by the way. I love doing stuff.
I know, and it's very lovely. You know, us three, Finney's too big time for us now, / had a child. Jeff lives in Australia. Shall we just bin him off and just
merge the podcast?
Go it alone.
Get Hartley involved as well.
Get Hartley involved. She's not up to much. You know,
yeah, she's not doing anything.
Felix is doing his band thing. He's quite busy, but the 4 of us,
we really would be a supergroup.
We would.
Given how often we appear on each other's programs as well. Given I've been on yours, you've both been on ours.
Well, Norcross has been on
ours more than he's been on yours.
Yeah, exactly. He's been on and certainly been paid more than he ever has for us.
18th of August.
Yes.
Be there. Lord's Taverners event. So all the money's going to the right place. This is all about, if you're not familiar with the backstory to this, about kids who have a disadvantaged start, oftentimes with disabilities. The programs they do are truly inspirational. We are proud, very proud to be associated with a charity that's been going for 3/4 of a century. I know you and your family, Tobes, you've got links going. It's your whole life, really.
Yeah, I think Dad played his first game for the Taverners in the 70s, and I think I I think when I was about 12, 13, I used to go out and field for them, and I used to run around the boundaries. But from the day I was born, I remember being at Taverners games. So it's very nice to be playing for them now and involved with them now. But the work they did is unbelievable, and I know we're going to have so much fun in the build-up to this game and on the day. And I appreciate the minute that 90 quid for a seat in the marquee or 20 quid for a ticket isn't a small amount of money. I promise you, the money is going to go towards such wonderful causes, and we're going to have such a fun. The day is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited about it. I've got it saved in my phone calendar, and every time I get to August and I see it, I'm like, oh, it's going to be a nice day out. So I can't wait for it. It's going to be great fun.
Parting thoughts, Daniel?
Sorry, I failed to take a wicket in the 25 minutes we've been doing this, and that's really annoyed me because I thought it might change things up. But no, seriously, I'm actually really excited as well. A day out at Wormsley is something that I like to do at least once every summer. To do it with really good friends is just going to be so much fun. And to do it for the Lord's Taverners, because I too been associated with them for quite some time, taking the piss out of their players from the safety of a microphone. I have a horrible fear I might be forced into batting at some point, and maybe the recipient of some sledging from on mic.
Two things on that. First of all, I remember when you we played at Tring, and Andy Caddick dropped a catch in the slips off my bowling, and you would not let him forget about it, to the point that he eventually chased you around the clubhouse after the game. And it was one of those where, you know what Caddick's like, it started off funny, and then I was like, if he catches Norcross, he's going to batter it. And also, I think I've only ever had the pleasure of watching you bat twice. We played indoors against some inner city kids, another charity day.
They were very good.
You got cleaned up. You got 2 golden ducks that day. So if for nothing else, buy a ticket to see Daniel Norcross don the pads and the bat again.
I've got Daniel's bat at the moment in my kit, and the only time he's used it, he also made a golden duck. So there is form on that front. I made runs in Spain last week. That's it. This has been a collaboration between Zero Ducks Given and the Final Word Cricket Podcast. All the information in the show notes. Thank you for listening to us ramble on for about 25 minutes, and cannot wait to see you all on August the 18th at Wormsley.